Epic Bees Daily Vlogs.
My old stomping grounds. My old high school, George Washington High. The vlog for today because of a controversial mural that they're trying to erase from history. Let's get this started.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Welcome everyone, it's my daily vlog channel, Eric B's Daily Vlogs. A little more sentimental on the vlog for today because I was in this high school for 4 years. And there's a mural in here that after 83 years, a couple of people want to take down, a couple of people think it's very controversial, racist in a way, and they want to get rid of it. To me, it's not something that I think they should do. They should educate the people. Remember, 83 years ago, 1935 is when this mural was painted. And now they want to get rid of it because of I think it's two scenes or two pictures in there that's very controversial. So we're going to go in there. They're letting people in today. It is on a weekend. No kids are around, so they're going to let people in there, the public, to go look at the mural, to go check it out. So let's go check this mural out. Let's go. Let's go. The main entrance. Invention, statementship, and literature up in here. And the mural starts as soon as we walk in. Let's get in there.
They have their point of view.
Yes. And then the meeting will be posted on the GWHS alumni.
Any meeting will be posted, not just by us, but by the Board of Education. And those of you who have read the debate of the San Francisco Chronicle, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and indeed this week the Washington Post, this has become a national issue. Anyway.
I have a question just on that social media. I've seen Breitbart and Fox News in the past couple of days come out, and there's some really toxic narratives going on in social media. So I just want to make everybody aware that this is creating a really toxic atmosphere, and that Breitbart is.
Let me be clear that she's talking about Breitbart. I'm John Rothman, KGO 810. I'm not here because I didn't.
All right, you hear that there is a lot of people here today. So one of the controversial, I said there was two, but there's a few. But so they have one controversial one up there, you see in the top right, where they have slaves working on the plantation. Now you got to remember that era this was in. There was slavery back in that era. And then over here you have a couple of Native Americans. And then up there you have a couple of the soldiers who were killed by Native Americans. So that's not the controversial part. They got the slavery up there, which is one controversial part, but there's another one where there's a lot of people that we'll go discuss. But the mural here, the artist Victor Arnautoff created this in 1936. And you got to remember what 1936 was back then. It was an era where we were still trying to find out what our city was like. And, you know, the artist took this as what George Washington's life would be back then, not what the life is going to be is moving forward. On this side of the mural, you have probably a group of guys burning, looks like money. And up there, you have a couple Native Americans working on a ship. And some guys right here either raising a flag or taking down a flag. And then you have George Washington sitting on the horse right there. Nothing controversial on this part. Nothing at all, but we'll get to that when I get up there when all the people are gone. This side of the mural you have, looks like more slave workers on a ship or on a boat who is working right there. And again, they're working right here, and there's some working what looks like a cotton field up there. Again, we got to remember the era this was in. This era was back when this was common, you know, when the artist Victor drew this. This was common back in George Washington's days. This is what it was. Now this mural right here, this is the one that a lot of people are upset about. It's this one with the Native American who is on the ground and not sure if he's resting, sleeping, or what, but he's on the ground, and you have a bunch of men who's around him, and a lot of people say it's controversial because he's dead, deceased, and they're stepping over him, not caring who they are. But if you look at who these guys are, look at George Washington, look at his men, look what they're wearing. And if you look at these guys are pioneers, maybe even like the first early days of cowboys. And if anyone, they're the ones that took this Indian and put him to the ground, not George Washington. So if you look at that, remember, look at their color. They're black and white, they're darkened out. Where if you look at George Washington, they're in color. So why would you take that? The artist knew exactly what he was doing when he drew it, and he put them in a black and white. But there is a lot of positive in this mural. A lot of positive. I don't know about the girl and her breast sticking out. I don't know if that's positive for high school, but it's a mural. What do you expect? And it shows the stars before the flag was being built or being created. And right over there, you have George Washington. Not sure who the lady is, but he's not doing anything racial and nothing controversial. Now again, looking at these murals, the only thing that I can see is art. I see artwork. I don't see anything disturbing. And again, if you look at the color of the mural, the color of the pilgrims, the pioneers, the early settlements of that mural, they're depicted in a darker color because they're definitely not part of George Washington and his group. So them being this piece of mural being controversial with the Native American on the ground right there, it's art. It's something that happened, and it's not like it was George Washington and his men that killed him. It looks like the pioneers is the one that killed him. So they're the ones. I don't know. I'm torn. Now remember, I roamed this hall for 4 years. This is where I went for 4 years. And to go see these murals up there is totally different. These murals right here are probably new. Unless I don't remember seeing them when I went to school here. These are probably new murals. But the ones that are out there that everybody's talking about, everybody's upset about, they've been there since I've been here. They've been there since 1936. These are a little more on the diverse side. It shows a little bit more of color. It looks like some Mexican Americans, some Native Americans. Over there it shows African Americans. It has a picture of, looks like Egypt in the background. Then over here it has Asian Americans and how Asian Americans came. So this, again, more on the diverse side of the murals. That's the artist right there, Angela Bradley Stokely. And it looks like it was back in 1974. So it was here when I was here. I just never really noticed it. Now, if you read the top, they have little sayings. That one says, George Washington, a citizen of the United States. And that one right there says, promote institutes for the general diffusions of knowledge. And that one there says Boston, Trenton, Princeton, Valley, Forge, Mammoth, and Yorktown. Everything that George Washington took to take back so the United States can be free from the Brits. Now again, this is probably the most controversial one of all. I looked around, I looked at each and every one of them. And besides the slavery that was going on, and you got to remember, in 1935, African Americans weren't free yet. There was still some sort of slavery going on. And in the year that George Washington was around, they definitely weren't free yet. So for them to say, let's take this mural down or cover this mural right there, it's a piece of United States history. The artist is trying to show you that George Washington had nothing to do with the Native American down there, because you can tell because of the way the artist made the pilgrims black and white. That's all I can think of. I mean, it's the best thing that I can say. I don't think it has anything to do with, George Washington or anything like that. I think the mural speaks for itself, and it's something that, why is it such a big deal? I don't know. Even on this side, I don't see. I mean, even when you have those slaves that are up there working on the plantation, I mean, that's not controversial. That's history. That's what happened back then. So for people to be upset and say, take it down, you're trying to erase history. You're trying to ignore what history had, what the United States, how it became. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. Wanted to come out here. It was open to the public today, and you can see there's a lot of people out there who are talking about the mural, who are talking about taking it down. And a lot of these people, I was listening to a lot of these people and what they were talking about. A lot of them needs to sit down in a class, needs to go back, take a history lesson, because back when George Washington was president in the 1700s, we're now in 2000s. 1700s, a lot of that stuff that was going on in the mural was actually happening. And I kept saying 1935, but in 1936, when the artist Victor painted this mural, a lot of the slavery stuff was still going on. So he painted what he thought was part of George Washington's life and George Washington's history, which is true. A lot of it did happen. A lot of it, some of that stuff did happen back in those days. But what's funny is because I was talking to you about that other mural that talked about the different race, the different nationalities. Excuse me. I told you that was in 1974. I went to school here from 86 to 90. And I didn't even realize that mural was there. I asked a couple kids who goes to the school if they even knew the mural was here. They didn't. They knew the mural was there. They can see the mural. It's a big mural. They know it's George Washington. They know George Washington has something to do with the mural. But they didn't even notice the whole controversy part of the mural till the media brought it up. The media brought it up. Once the media brought it up, the parents was all over it. And I have a feeling it wasn't a student. There's a little article that's saying that students are traumatized because of the mural. Kids are going from one class to another class and in a short about 5 minutes between classes. How can you tell me a kid is sitting there traumatized because of the mural? The parents are the one that's traumatized, and the parents that are traumatized are the ones that wants it down. You're going to take a piece of San Francisco George Washington High School's history and take it down because of something you don't believe in or something that happened 86 years ago? So you're going to want a mural down because of that? I kept saying I was torn because a part of me understands why, the Native American who's laying on the ground, a part of me understands why people want that taken down. But the other part of me, it's history. This is history. This is something that was done by an artist 86 years ago who he felt this was the best thing to do. And again, this is sentimental to me because I went to this high school and I don't want to see them touch it. I want it to be seen by kids moving forward when it comes to this art. Educate the kids. Let the kids know. Back in 1789, when George Washington was going through presidents, or was a president, this is the life that was happening. This is what was going on. George Washington freed our country from the British. He became the first president of the United States. He freed our country from the British. It took how many years later for Abraham Lincoln to come in and then free the slaves? So, totally different topic. And for the artist to draw that, to put that in there, George Washington is the reason why we have the colors red, white, and blue. The Star-Spangled Banner, the flags, the United States. He's the reason why. And then for someone to come in here and say that mural is hurtful, I don't like it. Then take your kids, send them elsewhere, send them to Lowell, send them somewhere else, send them to a school in San Francisco, send them to Balboa, send them to Galileo, send them somewhere else. That mural should stay up. That's my thought. That mural should be up there for as long as this school is up here. That mural is a big part of San Francisco history, and now that it's becoming more of a controversy, it should stay up there even longer. And again, if you're one of those people who disagrees with me, that's your opinion. This is my opinion. Educate your kids. Educate yourself if you don't know that this didn't happen back in the 1700s. Back then, this stuff happened. The artist took what he knew happened back then, put it in art. All right, that's it with my rant. Thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Here from George Washington High School. Save the mural. Hashtag save the mural. Thanks for watching, guys. Vlog's ended. Go in peace. Such a big high school to have such a small controversy. And again, listening to all these people, a lot of them needs to be educated. That window right there has a pretty cool mural of the city. And if you noticed, if you look at the buildings, no Salesforce Tower. Just how I like it. No Salesforce Tower.
I made this.